Greetings from Bermuda, this is BDA Limey, and welcome back to The Longing, a game about patience and waiting. So, when we last left the Shade, he was excavating the area under his bedroom to try and make a bigger living space. He seems to have reached a stop, so let's jump back in and see where he got to. Here I see something growing on the ceiling. Maybe I will find a good spot to cultivate mushrooms down here. Well, that's good, because I didn't really have much of a plan as to what we are going to do in this session. This is really just our regular weekly check-in. See how the guy's doing. I think now we've explored almost all of the caves. In fact, I think our notebook tells us as much. But one thing that is still on our checklist of stuff to do is to grow mushrooms. We found mushrooms last time, but I wasn't quite sure where we should plant them. And it looks like somewhere down here probably. So I think we're just going to get him to carry on using his mattock and digging down here for a bit. See where he gets to. We're now down to 335 days remaining until the king wakes up. I have to say that the time seems to be flying by now. It's what, 65 days gone of in-game time, and about, I don't know, 20-25 days real-world time. So the game is going faster in the game while we are at home, because we've made it such a luxurious place to hang out. Time just flies by down here. But when we go out into the world, the time in-game will go at the same speed as real time. But even so, at this rate, I don't know, 6 months probably until the king wakes up, or five more months maybe until the king wakes up, which is a lot faster than I was expecting. I was actually expecting this to take basically the whole year. So while he's doing that, let's check in and see where we did still have to go. So last time we finally found our way into the library, which was awesome. So we've got a load more books to read. So we may spend a little bit of time later digging into some of those. So we've got a couple of books of Aesop's Fables, we've got some poetry, we got some big books as well. Which I will probably at some point just leave him idle reading. So when we log out of the game, basically the books in game, you can either read through them yourself at the normal speed, but then some of them are really long. So Moby Dick is in there, and that's like over 1,000 pages, and I think that would test even my patience. But yeah, we'll let him read that on idle reading, and then I think while we're logged out of the game, he'll just work his way through that. And I have a feeling that there are things to discover in the books at some point. So that's probably a worthwhile thing to do. But the shorter books, I think I still actually will read some of those, I think. Because it's been a very long time since I read any Aesop's Fables or Grimm's fairy tales, and they are kind of cool. And random poetry, some of which is cool and some of which is lesser. Okay, so the locations we've got. So this was the mines, where we saw another mattock, but no way down to get it. Not quite sure if or when or why we'll need that, or how we would even get down there, but it feels like there's some puzzle to solve there. This was the stone door which we've been through. This was where the mushrooms grow. So that gives us a quick way back there. once we've found a spot to plant the mushrooms down here, we can go and gather some from up there and bring them back down. This was the face. So he gave us some cryptic information in exchange for some stuff last time. And he has 3 more questions he will answer for us. One of them, we've got to give him 100 coal. One needs 3 gold coins, and the other was 7 disappointments, I think. I'm not sure how much coal we've got now, but we've got a decent amount, maybe 40 or 50, I think. I think we have 6 disappointments and no gold coins. So I'm not quite sure where to get those. Well, I have an idea where we might get those, but the place, did I remove the bookmark? No, it's there. That's the treasure chamber behind a solid wall of glass. We do have the option of hitting it with our mattock, but I've been kind of too scared to do that. This seems like the perfect spot for our very own mushroom garden. Excellent. Good. Okay, well, we'll let him finish digging this out. And then we'll get some mushrooms in a bit. So yeah, at some point I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm gonna try and break that glass with the mattock. It did warn me last time I tried to do it that this was probably a bad idea, and so I chickened out. But at some point when I run out of other stuff to do and when I don't seem to have a use for the mattock anymore, I might go take a chance on that. This was more mushrooms that just made me throw up when I ate them. So I don't know if they're useful for anything. We'll see. That's where I found the water supply for my cave. I don't think we will ever need to go back there, but I've left it bookmarked just in case. That was a hole that filled up with water that gave us access to the library area, so actually we don't need that bookmarked anymore. That was a crystal which I've since mined, so we don't need that. And that was a way up that I haven't yet found out how or even if we can get up there. But if we do discover a way to climb stuff, then I'll be going back there. And I have a feeling that we will at some point, because there are a few places around the caves where... did I bookmark any of the others? Here as well, I think. Was a ledge that we couldn't get up to. It feels like there's ways up. But yeah, no idea. And that's the library. We took all the books that were in the library that we could carry. I'm not sure if anything will change if we go back there. I guess at some point we'll go back and check in on it and see whether anything has changed, but I'm not really expecting anything to. And this was where we go to get to the waterfall and the area with the white crystals. So we can jump down off there once we've allowed time for moss to grow at the bottom. And last time we went that way, we picked the moss that grew at the bottom, which was kind of stupid. So we temporarily didn't have a way to go back there. But now that moss should have grown back, because it was quite a while since we were last there. So we could go back there. I don't know if there is any other reason to do that apart from to get one of the white crystals, which I already harvested. But pick up what's dropped. Something that's gone away, probably a bit of coal. He is still digging away. I think he's going to come to a dead end. He's going to hit granite pretty soon. See no space for any more steps here. We've got a space here where we can build our bed. But we're still short 6 wooden planks. We only have 4. And I'm a bit stumped by that, actually. I don't know where to go to look for the 6 remaining planks we need. Seems like quite a lot. But we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to trust that that's going to show up somewhere at some time. Maybe once we get past the face. Okay, he's given up digging. We pick this up. We can. Oh, hang on. Grow a mushroom. Probably stupid. I shouldn't pick that up. How many spots there are for growing stuff? Granite. Maybe I can find a different spot down to the left. Down to the left? I don't see anywhere to go down to the left. Yeah, I thought we tried digging here last time. Yeah. Too hard. Maybe that other mattock is made of a tougher material. Maybe it's a diamond mattock. An obsidian mattock. Obsidian mattock? Can you get those in Minecraft? I don't know. Okay, but there's nothing else it seems like we can do there. We're also still missing a piece of yellow chalk as well. Let's pick that up. How many bits of coal have I got? 46. I'm still only about halfway to the amount of coal that I need for the base. I have no paper. Can't help but feel I should have drawn more lice pictures. But yeah, this yellow colour we still don't have. So I guess just thinking if I go all the way and get a mushroom, bring it back, and there's nowhere to plant it down here. There must be. It said there was space to grow a mushroom garden. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's start. Well, those actually look like the same kind of mushrooms that are already down there. I should go get one of the green ones instead. Although they just seem to make me throw up. Go grab a green one. So there's the king. 335 days from now, he will wake up and end the longing. We also had some dreams when we ate 3 of the pink mushrooms. It gave us a dream, so actually, let's do that first. We've had 2 different dreams though. Kind of want to see whether there's any more to that. Hey Railwork, how's it going? How's your day been? Good. It's a nice game just to chill to. Sure. Coal. Coal. Must get coal. Big. Slow climb to 100 coal. Thinking something might change on this map. Have a... Yeah. Take some time to decipher, it seems to imply. Imply I can do something with this, but... I don't know. I'm gonna work out whether I've actually been to all areas now. Guess I have. Cool. It's cool. Grab it. 49. Already completely forgotten the way to the mushroom place. ledge on my bookmarks? Well, I'm not sure. No, another one. Should have bookmarked that. Find a way to get up places. Probably be able to get up there as well. If that other mattock can get through granite. Got me wondering now the number of tunnels that have come to a dead end. Grab the coal. Broke apart. I wonder, maybe I should get some more of the pink mushrooms that give me the visions. That will let me have more vision without having to trek all the way up here every time. Given I had 2 visions last time, must be 6 mushrooms that I can harvest, assuming they've all grown back. So let's go for a vision first, or a dream. Okay. Okay. Dream 3. Did that give me any information? Wondering if it's kind of showing me the way to get to the surface. Okay, well, let's try and grab this one and plant it. So I'm going to pick it up. Now I have to be very careful not to click the wrong button. So we're just going to go home. You know, I want to right click because that will make me eat it. So I'm not clicking on anything. This has the potential for great frustration. Given it's like a, I don't know, 5-minute walk to get to these, and a 5-minute walk back. And if somewhere I click on the wrong thing before I plant it, that's annoying. Try not to do that. With the additional weight of the mushroom, I won't be able to climb the web without breaking it. And I don't want to be rude to my spidery friend. What? Are you serious? Well, I don't mind breaking the web. My spidery friend can make a new one. You serious? There's no way to get it. That's right. He's a good friend. My option is to climb web. I'm going to climb the web. This could be a terrible mistake. The additional weight of the mushroom. I mean, really? Makes that much difference? Okay. So growing mushrooms is not as easy as that. I guess that means I have to find another way back to my house that doesn't involve going down the web, or... Ah! What? You just ate it? Why'd you eat it? Oh my god, he ate the friggin' mushroom. You have no appetite control? So there we go. If we leave him standing long enough, doing nothing with a mushroom in his hand, he will get bored and eat it. Fine. In that case, I'm going to go find the other 2 mushrooms. We're going to have another vision. Hopefully I can... I don't know how quickly you have to eat the 3. Whether there's any time limit. I can't even remember where the others were growing. I don't think they were all here. Specked mushroom, that slowly regrowing. Okay, there's another one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, lots more. Fine, eat it. Oh, no, 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 don't plant it. God damn it. Ah. Okay, still got 3 more. Harvest. Eat. Harvest. Eat. Oh, no, no. Why? I picked the last one and the immediate option was to... Right, don't touch anything. Eat. Go. Eat. Eat. Vision? Yes. Okay. Vision 4. the same as one I had before? I think it is. My friend jumps on him. Maybe both of those were the same as the ones I had before. The advantage of recording this game and go back and check. Well. Now what? I'm pretty sure there's no other way down. We thoroughly explored this area last time. Unless there's a hidden path that I missed somewhere. Could there be a hidden path? Let's go down. There were some more pink mushrooms down here. Big blue ones. This was a dead end. No. Okay, we're here. Let's go up. Let's see whether we missed anything. Missed anything. To the left here was another tunnel we dug out that ended in granite. Green mushrooms still make me throw up. I wonder if I can... Maybe I can take that one back. Maybe it's not as heavy as the pink mushroom. I bet it is. Tension is unbearable. Is it going to be too heavy? I think yes. No, don't eat it. Don't eat it, are you? Guess it doesn't matter. Jump. Fine, eat it. Well, I'm not quite sure what to do now. I'm tempted to go back here. Not wandering in that direction. Partly on the tiny off chance that anything has changed. Also because most of the wood that I found was in that area. And I don't know, maybe it's falling off something and there'll be more when I get there. It's kind of a long shot. I'm not quite sure where else to find the wood I need to make the bed. Maybe now I just have to get past the face. Or I could try breaking the wall of the treasure chamber, or breaking the glass of the treasure chamber. I think that will fail, but I might then get another disappointment, which I can use to talk to the face, because then I'll have 7. And then I would have 7 disappointments. I could go and farm coal in that one room where it seems to drop quite a lot. Coal, go get the coal. Go. Run. $50 coal. We are officially halfway there. Okay. Where are we going again? We're going to look at the mine. What's the mine? I think that was to the right from the stone door. down to the right here, I think. Cool. It was, but it's gone. This is where I found some of the wood. No more there. And there's the other mattock. Tunnel going down there. Cannot get there now. Okay. It's time to risk it. Let's go try break the glass. I think I've done everything with the mattock that I can for the time being. I've done all the excavation in my home, I think. Hopefully if it breaks, it won't be the end of the world. Pick up. Oh. Ah, it's gone. Slow. Going again. Pressure check. Oh, I'm sure it's going to break the mattock. Sure of it. Well, worst case, I can just sit in my armchair and read for the next 335 days, so, you know, whatever. You have to try these things. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Who knows, maybe it'll work and we'll gain access to the entire treasure hoard. More likely, the king will get really mad with us when he wakes up, having broken off half of his crystals already. Gone up through that door, which I think he kind of told us not to do. But hey, that's what he gets for falling asleep for 400 days. Is this really a good idea? Now I'm nervous again. Here we are. Use Matic. Well, let's go get that bit of coal first. Ah, this just so is not gonna work. I am sure that I am gonna end up regretting this. Treasure is behind a nearly impenetrable window of crystal glass. Not that I can make much use of it anyway. Hint, hint, don't bother doing this. But if you insist, I could try to break the glass with my Matic. It certainly seems like a bad idea. Oh, am I gonna really do this? Try it anyway. Ah, I knew it. I knew it. Well, that was a complete failure. Oh, God. And that is it. They're like, yep, bye-bye Matic. Screw you, you idiot. Oh, God. I can't believe I lost my Matic. I mean, I kind of thought that I would, but I also kind of didn't think that they would do that. I hope that has not screwed us. Would they screw us? Surely not. Dunno though. Dunno. Shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Don't know if there's any chance there'll be another one back here. Probably not. Knew it. Knew it was going to do that. Why did I do that? So stupid. Because I thought there was a chance that it might do something good. I'm now more sure than ever that there has to be a way to get to that second Matic. But possibly not until later in the game now. My guess is that they're not going to make it impossible for you to progress. I'm trying to think whether there's anywhere I've been that actually required that Matic. We used it to mine crystals. What else did we use it for? I think he was just mining the crystals. We did dig some tunnels, but I don't think they took us anywhere important. Maybe. Well, it's gone. I'm mad now. I'm considering waking the king up. That also sounds like a stupid idea, and I've avoided doing it. Maybe tonight's the night to do stupid things. My guess is that you can't wake him up. But I don't know. Well, the Matek magically appeared there, sadly. Okay, we will not pick up at this time. We'll pick up that though. So I explored this last time, but seeing whether anything's changed over here. Doesn't look like it. For a minute I was worried I was going to have the option to dig it with a Matek. moss. We need moss for the bed as well, but I think we've already got more than we need. Didn't even get a disappointment from breaking the mattock. Which is surprising. That was pretty disappointing. Okay. Back home. Well, that was a very unproductive expedition. 58 coal. Get in there on the coal. The one worry actually just occurs to me is I did get a bunch of disappointments from trying to excavate tunnels and then eventually hitting granite. If there's another place that I could excavate and hit granite and get a disappointment, that might stop me getting the disappointments that I need base. Okay, let's see what happens when you try to awake the king. If it gives me a warning, I'm not gonna do it. Because I could see it waking the king and the king grumbling at me, saying, right, I'm going back to sleep for another 400 days, and it just resetting the clock. Let's try it. It's the day for doing stupid things. King is still sleeping to regain his might. His awakening is due in less than a year. Okay. It will actually let me do that stupid thing. Back home it is. Well, the only thing I can think now that we can do that we can actively pursue is collecting the 100 coal for the face. And read, I guess. So let's sit and read. So last time we read The Raven. Nice short story. And Bird is 19 pages. That's kind of long. These are kind of long. The Cask of Amontillado. Now is that a... looks like a story rather than a poem. Story. 13 pages. Okay. I think we have time for this, so maybe we'll try this. Never read this before, but I think it's familiar. Okay, let's go. The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. Apologies in advance for any mispronunciations. I will do my best. The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as best I could. But when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. You, who so well know the nature of my soul, will not suppose, however, that I gave utterance to a threat. At length I would be avenged. This was a point definitively settled, but the very definitiveness with which it was resolved precluded the idea of risk. I must not only punish, but punish with impunity. A wrong is unredressed when retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unredressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who has done the wrong. It must be understood that neither by word nor deed had I given Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I continued, as was my wont, to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation. He had a weak point, this Fortunato, although in other regards he was a man to be respected, and even feared. He prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. Few Italians have the true virtuoso spirit. For the most part, their enthusiasm is adopted to suit the time and opportunity, to practice imposture upon the British and Austrian millionaires. In painting and gemmery, Fortunato, like his countrymen, was a quack, but in the matter of old wines he was sincere. In this respect I did not differ from him materially. I was skillful in the Italian vintages myself, and bought largely whenever I could. It was about dusk, one evening during the supreme madness of the carnival season, that I encountered my friend. He accosted me with excessive warmth, for he had been drinking much. The man wore motley. He had on a tight-fitting party-striped dress, and his head was surmounted by the conical cap and bells. I was so pleased to see him that I thought I should never have done wringing his hand. I said to him, "My dear Fortunato, you are luckily met. How remarkably well you are looking today. But I have received a pipe of what passes for Amontillado, and I have my doubts." "How?" said he. "Amontillado? A pipe? Impossible! And in the middle of the carnival." I have my doubts, I replied, and I was silly enough to pay the full Amontillado price without consulting you in the matter. You were not to be found, and I was fearful of losing a bargain. Amontillado. I have my doubts. Amontillado. And I must satisfy them. Amontillado. As you were engaged, I am on my way to Lucchesi. If anyone has a critical turn, it is he. He will tell me. Lucchesi cannot tell Amontillado from sherry. And yet some fools will have it that his taste is a match for your own. Come, let us go. Whither? To your vaults. My friend, no. I will not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement. Lucchesi, I have no engagement. Come. My friend, no. It is not the engagement, but the severe cold with which I perceive you are afflicted. The vaults are insufferably damp. They are encrusted with nitre. Let us go, nevertheless. The cold is merely nothing. Amontillado! You have been imposed upon. And as for Lucchesi, he cannot distinguish sherry from Amontillado. Thus speaking, Fortunato possessed himself of my arm. Putting on a mask of black silk and drawing a roquelaire closely about my person, I suffered him to hurry me to my palazzo. There were no attendants at home. They had absconded to make merry in honour of the time. I had told them that I should not return until the morning, and had given them explicit orders not to stir from the house. These orders were sufficient, I well knew, to ensure their immediate disappearance, one and all, as soon as my back was turned. I took from the sconces 2 flambeaux, and giving one to Fortunato, bowed him through several suites of rooms to the archway that led into the vaults. I passed down a long and winding staircase, requesting him to be cautious as he followed. We came at length to the foot of the descent, and stood together on the damp ground of the catacombs of the Montresors. The gait of my friend was unsteady, and the bells upon his cap jingled as he strode. "The pipe," said he. "It is farther on," said I. "But observe the white webwork which gleams from these cavern walls." He turned towards me, and looked into my eyes with 2 filmy orbs that distilled the rheum of intoxication. "Nitre?" he asked at length. "Nitre," I replied. "How long have you had that cough?" My poor friend found it impossible to reply for many minutes. "It is nothing," he said at last. "Come," I said with decision. "We will go back. Your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy, as once I was. You are a man to be missed. For me, it is no matter. We will go back. You will be ill, and I cannot be responsible. Besides, there is Lucchesi." "Enough," he said. "Cough is a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of a cough." True, I replied. And indeed, I had no intention of alarming you unnecessarily, but you should use all proper caution. A draught of this Medoc will defend us from the damps. Here I knocked off the neck of a bottle which I drew from a long row of its fellows that lay upon the mould. "Drink," I said, presenting him the wine. He raised it to his lips with a leer. He paused and nodded to me familiarly, while his bells jingled. "I drink," he said, "to the buried that repose around us." "And I to your long life." He again took my arm, and we proceeded. "These vaults," he said, "are extensive." "The Montresors," I replied, "were a great and numerous family." "I forget your arms." "A huge human foot d'or in a field azure. The foot crushes a serpent rampant whose fangs are embedded in the heel." "And the motto?" "Nemo me impune lacessit." "Good," he said. The wine sparkled in his eyes, and the bells jingled. My own fancy grew warm with the Medoc. We had passed through walls of piled bones, with casks and puncheons intermingling, into the inmost recesses of the catacombs. I paused again, and this time I made bold to seize Fortunato by an arm, above the elbow. "The nitre," I said. "See, it increases. It hangs like moss upon the vaults. We are below the river's bed. The drops of moisture trickle among the bones. Come, we will go back ere it is too late. Your cough." "It is nothing," he said. "Let us go on. But first, another draught of the Medoc." I broke and reached him a flagon of de Grave. He emptied it at a breath. His eyes flashed with a fierce light. He laughed and threw the bottle upwards with a gesticulation I did not understand. I looked at him in surprise. He repeated the movement, a grotesque one. "You do not comprehend?" he said. "Not I," I replied. "Then you are not of the Brotherhood?" "How?" "You are not of the Masons." Yes, I said. Yes. "You? Impossible. A Mason?" "A Mason," I replied. "A sign," he said. "A sign." "It is this," I answered, producing a trowel from beneath the folds of my roquelaire. "You jest," he exclaimed, recoiling a few paces. "Let us proceed to the Amontillado." "Be it so," I said, replacing the tool beneath the cloak, and again offering him my arm. He leaned upon it heavily. We continued our route in search of the Amontillado. We passed through a range of low arches, descended, passed on, and descending again, arrived at a deep crypt, in which the foulness of the air caused our flambeaux rather to glow than flame. At the most remote end of the crypt there appeared another, less spacious. Its walls had been lined with human remains, piled to the vault overhead, in the fashion of the great catacombs of Paris. 3 sides of this interior crypt were still ornamented in this manner. From the 4th side the bones had been thrown down, and lay promiscuously upon the earth, forming at one point a mound of some size. Within the wall thus exposed by the displacing of the bones we perceived a still interior recess, in depth about 4 feet in width. In depth about 4 feet, in width 3, in height 6 or 7. It seemed to have been constructed for no especial use within itself, but formed merely the interval between 2 of the colossal supports of the roof of the catacombs, and was backed by one of their circumscribing walls of solid granite. It was in vain that Fortunato, uplifting his dull torch, endeavoured to pry into the depth of the recess. Its termination the feeble light did not enable us to see. "Proceed," I said. "Herein is the Amontillado. As for Lucchesi—" "He is an ignoramus," interrupted my friend, as he stepped unsteadily forward, while I followed immediately at his heels. In an instant he had reached the extremity of the niche, and finding his progress arrested by the rock, stood stupidly bewildered. A moment more, and I had fettered him to the granite. In its surface were 2 iron staples, distant from each other about 2 feet horizontally. From one of these depended a short chain, from the other a padlock. Throwing the links about his waist, it was but the work of a few seconds to secure it. He was too much astounded to resist. Withdrawing the key, I stepped back from the recess. "Pass your hand," I said, "over the wall. You cannot help feeling the nitre. Indeed, it is very damp. Once more, let me implore you to return. No? Then I must positively leave you. But I must first render you all the little attentions in my power." "The Amontillado!" ejaculated my friend, not yet recovered from his astonishment. "True," I replied. "The Amontillado." As I said these words, I busied myself among the pile of bones of which I have before spoken. Throwing them aside, I soon uncovered a quantity of building stone and mortar. With these materials, and with the aid of my trowel, I began vigorously to wall up the entrance of the niche. I had scarcely laid the first tier of the masonry when I discovered that the intoxication of Fortunato had in a great measure worn off. The earliest indication I had of this was a low moaning cry from the depth of the recess. It was not the cry of a drunken man. There was then a long and obstinate silence. I laid the second tier, and the third, and the fourth, and then I heard the furious vibrations of the chain. The noise lasted for several minutes, during which, that I might hearken to it with the more satisfaction, I ceased my labours and sat down upon the bones. When at last the clanking subsided, I resumed the trowel, and finished without interruption the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh tier. The wall was now nearly upon a level with my breast. I again paused, and holding the flambeau over the mason work, threw a few feeble rays upon the figure within. A succession of loud and shrill screams, bursting suddenly from the throat of the chained form, seemed to thrust me violently back. For a brief moment I hesitated. I trembled. Unsheathing my rapier, I began to grope with it about the recess, but the thought of an instant reassured me. I placed my hand upon the solid fabric of the catacombs, and felt satisfied. I reapproached the wall. I replied to the yells of him who clamoured. I re-echoed. I aided. I surpassed them in volume and in strength. I did this, and the clamourer grew still. It was now midnight, and my task was drawing to a close. I had completed the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th tier. I had finished a portion of the last and the 11th. There remained but a single stone to be fitted and plastered in. I struggled with its weight. I placed it partially in its destined position. But now there came from out of the niche a low laugh that erected the hairs upon my head. It was succeeded by a sad voice, which I had difficulty in recognizing as that of the noble Fortunato. The voice said, "Ha ha ha! Hee! A very good joke indeed, an excellent jest. We shall have many a rich laugh about it at the palazzo. Hee! Over our wine. Hee!" "The Amontillado," I said. Yes, the Amontillado. But is it not getting late? Will not they be awaiting us at the palazzo, the Lady Fortunato and the rest? Let us be gone. Yes, I said. Let us be gone. For the love of God, Montresor. Yes, I said. For the love of God. But to these words I hearkened in vain for a reply. I grew impatient. I called aloud. Fortunato. No answer. I called again. Fortunato. No answer. No answer still. I thrust the torch through the remaining aperture and let it fall within. There came forth in reply only a jingling of the bells. My heart grew sick on account of the dampness of the catacombs. I hastened to make an end of my labour. I forced the last stone into its position. I plastered it up. Against the new masonry, I re-erected the old rampart of bones. For the half of a century, no mortal has disturbed them. In parce requiescat. Ooh, grim. Didn't actually say what what Fortunato had done to him, other than 1,000 injuries. Cool. Indeed, another spooky one. Guess they are intentionally picking these to fit with the mood. He did wall him up. Very grim. Okay, well, there was nothing hidden in that book. So I think we will leave him doing some reading on his own. So there is no way we are reading Moby Dick. Not in this form anyway. curious. Let me read the first paragraph. Moby Dick, or the Whale, by Herman Melville. Chapter 1, Loomings. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating the circulation. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my hypos get such an upper hand of me that it requires a strong moral principle to prevent me from deliberately stepping into the street and methodically knocking people's hats off, then, as I account it high time to get to sea as soon as I can. This is my substitute for pistol and ball. With a philosophical flourish, Cato throws himself upon his sword. I quietly take to the ship. There is nothing surprising in this. If they but knew it, almost all men, in their degree, some time or other, cherish very nearly the same feelings towards the ocean with me. Should be a quick read. 1,282 pages, so we will kick him off on idle reading. And we'll see how far he gets. And hopefully he will find something secret somewhere in the middle of this book. Because if they're going to hide anything, it seems likely they will hide it in the middle of Moby Dick somewhere. So off you go, Shade. Do some reading. But until next time, from me, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, this is BDA Limey signing out. Bye for now.